I'm Catherine and welcome back. Today is a video of my monthly empties for November. I will give you my honest reviews on the products that I have used up. And I have quite the selection here today. I like to post my empties videos to give you a true review, a true understanding of whether a product is worth the money. And I'm happy to say I have used up every single product here. I've done a great job, if I do say so myself. Let's jump straight in. The first product I actually had to cut in half to get the rest of the product out, and this is from the Ink List, and this is their Oat Cleansing Balm. It looks a little bit grubby because it has been in my bathroom. Generally this is a product that I like to use in the shower, and I like to use it for my first cleanse. So I like to use it to remove any of the makeup that I have on my skin before moving into a different product for my second cleanse. Now this product, I actually had a small size version of this first and I really didn't like it, but the consistency was totally different to what this is. The small travel size product that I had, it was very much separated, so you'd squeeze it out in your hand, you'd have a puddle of oil and then you would have the cleansing balm, whereas this one, it's much more combined together. I like this cleanser. I think that it is really good at removing makeup, removing the day from your skin, and it does leave it feeling nice and soft. My only negatives with this is that it sometimes does leave like a little bit of a residue on your skin, so you do have to like thoroughly wash this one off. And also the fact that I had to cut it in half and then I got about 2 weeks out of what was left in here, because this tube, I don't know what kind of strength you need to be able to squeeze this product out of the tube, but I don't know if they need to have a look at that, because it was really difficult to get the product out. And then I could see that I was going to be struggling, so I cut it in half and I got about 2 more weeks left out of this. Because of that, I would maybe be a little bit more reluctant to buy this. I do think there are lots of different cleansers on the market. This one was great and it's a great price point too. The next product I have used is from one of my recent Korean beauty unboxings, and this is from Be The Skin and it's their BHA Plus toner. And this is like their kind of travel small trial size version, and I really do like this. My skin does like BHA and I really like the Paula's Choice BHA exfoliator. So this was a great product to use. I did really enjoy using it. Another little negative with this one is that it did leak, so you would think that maybe you could take this away with you, but mine leaked. It did have a seal on the top when I first bought it, so it didn't arrive in any condition other than perfect, but if I had left it like lying around, or if I did put it in a travel bag, it did leak. So that's something just to be aware of with this. It's probably not suitable for travelling, but I would definitely have this one again. I've never used anything from Be The Skin and it was really nice, and I'd look forward to using more from this brand. This one is a tiny product. This is from Paula's Choice 10% azelaic acid treatment. Now this is their booster and it's got licorice and salicylic acid. Again, I had to chop this one in half because I could not get the remaining product out. However much I tried to squeeze, it just wasn't easy to get the last bits of the product out. I use this as very much like a spot treatment really. I noticed I was getting a few blemishes, so I used this and it definitely did help with the recovery of the blemishes. And this is definitely something I would buy again, probably in a very small size like this, because I don't really have that many blemishes, but it's always good to have something like this at hand for when I do get them. Oh, I forgot another cleanser that I have used, and this is from Paula's Choice and this is their pore normalizing cleanser, and I did actually get this in like a little travel set, with the previous product and their BHA toner, and so I used up this cleanser. It was a really nice gel cleansers, and I'm not normally one to go for gel cleansers, but recently they have been really nice for my skin. So I used this, it was great, did the job, it left my skin feeling nice and clean. This one is specifically for blemish prone skin, so it did help me in those moments where I did have some breakouts. Now I do have this from Naturium. This is one of my favourite brands for 2025. This is the retinaldehyde cream serum, 0.05%, and this was my first introduction to retinaldehyde, and I really enjoyed this. It was so gentle on my skin. I loved this product. I would definitely use it again, but I think I would need to go up a strength, because what I was noticing as I was getting more towards the end of the product, I wasn't really seeing the same effects as I had before around any fine lines. So I think maybe my skin had just got used to it. So you can use it a couple of times a week, and it's one of those products that you can build up to using so that your skin can adjust. But this was really lovely, and the packaging on this is great because it's a pump and you can get every last bit of product out, and I love that. It was so easy to use. I would definitely recommend this. If you are somebody who is looking to incorporate retinol or retinaldehyde, retinol type product into your routine, I would definitely have a look at this one. I do have a pamper box, and sometimes I just like to go in there, select a little treat for myself, and I have done that a couple of times this month. And so one of the treatments that I chose was this from VT, and it's their Riedel Shot Booster. I have used one of these before, but this is the red version, which has Cica in. And I did like using this. I think I prefer the previous version that I had, which I do think was just like their original version. And with this, if you've never used like a Riedel shot before, alternative to micro needling on the skin. And so when you do kind of pat it into the skin, you can feel like it's such a weird sensation. You can kind of feel like little spikes into your skin almost. It doesn't sound very good, but I really like that sensation, and it really just helps to boost the skin. And whilst this one wasn't my favourite, I would definitely use Riedel shots again, but maybe just the original version again. But they do loads of different versions now for different skin types or concerns. Another pamper product that I had was this from Foreo, and this is a coconut oil nourishing 10-cell sheet mask. And so I used this very recently in the last couple of days, where, if you can't tell, I might have a little bit of a cold coming. I could feel that my skin was feeling a little bit parched. So I popped this on my skin whilst I was having a bath and just had a nourishing pamper evening, and this was really nice. It sat on the skin really nice as well, and I kept it on, I would say, yeah, for 20 minutes, and that's a recommended time. And I didn't feel like I needed to adjust it. It just almost just sat on my skin the way I needed it to. And there was a wide enough gap as well, because I did have a cup of tea with me, which sometimes I think that is just a nice little perk. Have a bath, have a cup of tea, have a face mask, read your book, like that is just something that I love doing. So it didn't interrupt me drinking my cup of tea, which I thought was quite unusual for face masks, because sometimes the little mouth holes are so small that you just have to sit and not do anything. So I liked this. Coconut probably wasn't my favourite kind of scent. It was bordering on that kind of synthetic coconut scent. So I would definitely use one of these face masks again, just maybe in a different variety, but I did enjoy using this. Another pampering product, I definitely pampered myself in November, which just goes to show, you know, when the nights are drawing in, we have those evenings when we just want to get cozy, get comfy. And this is a melting sleep butter, so you can use it in the bath or in the shower. You can use it on damp skin and rub it over the body, or you can pop it into the bath. So it came in like a bit of a bar, and I used it 3 times, so I had 3 baths out of this, and it's a nourishing bath product. It is in the scent chamomile and coconut, but to be honest, it was so lightly scented, I didn't really notice a scent. And I think it would have been really lovely if this was lavender, being like a sleep product. Chamomile, lavender, I think that would have been lovely. But it did leave my skin feeling really nourished, and I think that's because of like the coconut oil in there. So whilst I did enjoy it, it's probably not a product that I would race to get another one of. I do like bubble baths. I do love like a Lush bubble bar as well. So this was really nice to have as part of my routine. I think it would really actually be lovely in the shower if you were just really wanting that nourishment on your skin, just to sweep it over the damp skin, then have a shower, pat a towel lightly so you're not rubbing the oils off. I think that would be really lovely and a lovely experience. Sticking with the bathroom products, I do have two products from Espa, and this is their body lotion and their body wash. So I did use these together, and it's in the scent bergamot and jasmine, which is kind of like an uplifting scent. It's not my favourite scent. This time of the year I want those like comforting vanilla-y smells, or cinnamon, like getting into that festive period. But it's a really nice product. I would say, because it is a lotion, you do need to kind of rub it into the skin a little bit longer so that it is absorbed. But nice products. You do get these in like subscription boxes quite often, and it is a really nice brand. I would definitely use them again. It's just maybe not my favourite scent for these, and you do see them quite often, so sometimes it can be a little bit repetitive having the same product and the same scent. From Kerastase, I use their conditioner, and this is for dry hair, fine to medium, and I do have fine to medium hair. I didn't find that this was nourishing really. I can't say that I do have dry hair. It can feel dry and knotty. I've washed my hair, so I do use like leave-in conditioners and oils, but this, I was expecting this to be a really nourishing conditioner, and it just wasn't. We have a few products left, one of which is this from Medicate, and this is a Daily Radiance Vitamin C, and I really liked using this product, and it's nice to try a Medicate product that's in a large size. So this is 50 ml, this is a full size moisturiser. It does have SPF 30 in it as well, and I love using vitamin C on my skin, so I got on with this really well. A little bit went a long way. I did use like a spatula in this so that I wasn't dipping my fingers into it, so that's maybe something that would be nice if they included something like that. But I had one at hand, so I used that, and I would use this again. I know Medicate can be quite expensive, but I would definitely use this again. I'm not quite sure off the top of my head what the price point is for this, so maybe that would make me reconsider, because I think with moisturisers there are lots of really good ones that are maybe a little bit cheaper than Medicate, but I really did enjoy using this. A product that I wouldn't repurchase is this from Glow Recipe, and it is an SPF stick with niacinamide. I think maybe I got this in a Cult Beauty box. The purpose of this is that it's a stick SPF, and you can just swipe it over your skin and you're basically done. And I like that, and it also has skincare in it as well, which I like that too. I think for me though, I don't have any issues with applying sunscreen, and then if I'm wearing makeup, using like a over makeup SPF. So I couldn't really see how this would be really beneficial, or a product that would be like a wow product for me, because I do find SPFs quite easy as they are. Maybe if you're active and you're wanting like that top up in the day, if you're out and about, you don't want SPF on your hands. I know sometimes I find that like a bit of a horrible feeling on my hands, and I need to wash my hands straight away. So perhaps, I don't know who the customer is for this, I just don't think it is for me. Another thing that I found was, as I got to the bottom, so the lip of the product is here, but underneath here there was so much more product, so I did use a spatula and I did scrape it out, and I probably got another like week's worth of SPF out of that. So I do think maybe that's a little bit like it could have been a little bit of a waste really. So I did use the product in a different way than it was intended at the last portion of it. I do like the idea, I do like the product. It had like a very soft scent to it. I do love that it's like quite travel friendly as well, so it would be great if you just wanting something that you could pop in your bag. You didn't have to worry about like SPF spilling anywhere. But I just can't see how this would fit into my day-to-day life. The last product I have is fragrance, and this is from Billie Eilish, and I used up this fragrance, which is called Eilish. Now this is a rollerball and it has like a lovely vanilla scent to it. It is quite sweet. And I was using this for a while and not really getting anywhere because it was in the rollerball. And I find that I do like to spray perfume onto my clothes as well as my skin. So with a rollerball, I was like having to tap, 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 really trying to work it onto my wrists to apply it onto my neck. Whereas the spray is so much easier. So what I did was I managed to take the ball off here and put it into this Rosa 62 perfume mist bottle. Now I didn't mind because they're both kind of that sweet fragrance, so it didn't alter the fragrance for this, but it meant that I could use the perfume how I wanted to use it. I did use less sprays because obviously this is this bottle is for like a fragrance mist, which is a little bit more diluted than an actual perfume fragrance, so it hardly filled any of the bottle. It was like down to here, but I used a spritz every now and then, and it meant that I used the perfume in a way that I wanted to use it, and I really enjoyed it because of that. I do still have the other side to it, which is Eilish number 2. This fragrance just isn't for me. It's a little bit more spicy, a little bit more woody tones. It's definitely a contrast to the first Eilish perfume. So I might pass this on to a family member, see if they would like to use it. And that is everything that I've used up for the month of November for beauty, skincare, hair care, and I think I've done quite well really. I would love to know your thoughts on this. What products have you used up this month and what are your favourites? Have you used any of these products and what are your thoughts on them? Do we have a similar thought or are you the complete opposite? I would love to know. And then these are my other empties for this month. So let's start with waxmelt. So if you've watched my previous empties videos, you know that my favourite waxmelt brand is from Northern Soul Scents. First one, Maple and Elm. This was a beautiful scent in maple syrup base, topped off with hickory and elm wood. Beautiful. The scents are amazing. They make your whole house smell amazing. I use them in my office and it's such a treat every day to select the fragrance that I would like and have it burning as I'm working. This is part of their winter collection, Gothic Castle. This used to be called Haunted Castle or Muncaster Castle, I'm not quite sure, but it's based off Muncaster Castle, which is somewhere that I have been before, and this is such a lovely Christmassy scent. I really enjoyed using this, and I can see where they get the name from, Gothic Castle, because it does smell like Muncaster Castle. So this has herbal notes of bergamot, cannabis flower, rose and cinnamon with earthy base notes of musk, black tea and patchouli. I loved the cinnamon in this. I've also used Forest Floor, which was so lovely to use in autumn, and with this one it says that it's a woody scent with spicy touches of clove and pepper, topped off with floral hints of violet and rose on a base of amber and tobacco. They're so varied as well, the scents, they're just amazing, and they smell like what they say they are. Thunderstorm, I used this the other day. It was a rainy day and I thought, let's have Thunderstorm as my fragrance today. for my room, and this one, it says it combines peppermint, and I did pick up on that yesterday when I burnt it, and oak moss for an obscure but beautiful scent, and it is lovely. It's like quite fresh with the peppermint, but then like the thunderstorm kind of a little bit like of a moody scent as well. It's lovely, beautiful. And then moving on to books, I have read quite a lot of books for the month of November, and I think that's because I was in the spooky season. I was loving those kind of thriller books. So I read The Housemaid in October, and then moved on to The Housemaid's Secret and The Housemaid is Watching, and I got through these really quickly. I have to say The Housemaid is definitely my favourite because it's just that suspense and that new story, and so the second and third books, it's a little bit similar with the storyline and the suspense. So in the first book I wasn't expecting it, whereas in these two books I was, but again, these amazing. They were really good stories. I really enjoyed it. It was the first time for me reading from a book wrote by Frida McFadden, and I would definitely have a look at her other books now. This one, China Lakes, by Meg Gardner. This one, it terrified me a little bit, I have to say. I read it because I needed to find out that the characters in the book were okay. And that's the main reason that I read it. Not out of enjoyment, out of almost like fear of wanting to know that the people were okay. So I don't know if I enjoyed it. Honest answer, I don't know if I enjoyed it. But I worked my way through it. So yeah, I'm a little on the fence of this one. And lastly, I have moved on to the Hope Meadows series, and this is by Lucy Daniels. And if you've ever read Lucy Daniels as a child and it was the Animal Arc series, this is Mandy Hope as a grown-up. Just nostalgic for me. I loved those books, really into the books. I read so many of them, went to my local library every week and took out an Animal Arc book to take home and read and race through reading them. So I love that they've continued the series, but Mandy as a 27-year-old, so she's in her late 20s and she's moved back to the family home and back to Animal Arc, and this is the story of what happens next, and I love that. So I've read this one, I've now moved on to the next one, which is Christmas at Mistletoe Cottage, so it's getting me into that Christmas feel, and I would definitely recommend those books if you want the cosy feels. If you loved those books as a child, they are there. They're back. They're back. And that's everything for my monthly empties for the month of November. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I would love to have a conversation with you in the comments below. If you can like and subscribe, that will really help my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!